We love food colored green, bell peppers and long string beans, pickles, celery, cucumbers too. All these foods are good for you.
Welcome to Storytime Cooks, where we learn about food through books. Today, we're going to be reading Day at the Beach. And this is written and illustrated by Tom Booth, and it's published by Aladdin. And I wish I was at the beach today, but since I'm not, we're going to read about it. And maybe we can all pretend that we're there. One sunny morning on a quiet sandy beach, as sleepy seagulls swooped and swayed to the scooting sound of the waves, Gideon and his sister Audrey raced toward the ocean. Look out! Make way! Every summer, Gideon and Audrey would build a sandcastle together. Gideon made sure each tower stood straight and every wall was level and all the castle sides were smooth, and Audrey made sure the castle sparkled with shells and sea glass and a starfish on the top. But this summer, Gideon had a different plan. He was going to build the most stupendous sandcastle at the beach, the most stupendous castle the beach had ever seen, alone, all by himself, with no Audrey. And he's drawn a blueprint of what he thinks this castle is going to look like. I've built a lot of sandcastles, but I don't know that I've ever drawn a picture of what it was going to look like before I got there. That might be a fun thing to do. Sandcastles are serious business, he told his sister. Go play with Mom and Dad. The new king of the beach has work to do. Audrey marched off. She probably wasn't very happy. Gideon started digging and shoveling and burrowing and tunneling and piling and scooping. He made sure every tower stood straight and every wall was level. And just as he smoothed out the side of the castle, someone yelled, "Heads up, kids!" Oh, no. Sorry, kid. Next time, don't build so close to our game. You might have remembered in a picture before, there were some people playing volleyball. And this volleyball player went after the ball and landed right on Gideon's castle. That was just a practice castle, Gideon replied. He picked up his tools and walked further down the beach and started all over again. He didn't give up. Gideon made sure each tower stood straight and every wall was level, and just when he smoothed out the sides of the castle, thump! There were some people flying kites, and evidently the wind quit blowing because that kite landed straight on his castle. His second castle didn't last much longer than his first. His third castle would have been perfect, but it was swept away in the tide. He must have built it too close to the water. His fourth castle would have won awards, but it shrank beneath a passing shower. His fifth castle was almost legendary, but it flew away with a strong breeze. Even the umbrella is blowing by. And his sixth castle, woof! Oh no, what does this tell you? What kind of animal makes a woof sound? A dog landed right in the middle of his castle. That is it. Gideon's patience had run out. He grabbed up his buckets and his shovel, then he set out to look for a new spot where nothing and no one could interrupt him. And finally, he found the perfect one. Perfect, Gideon said, and he quickly got to work. There's nothing around him but a crab, so maybe this one will work out okay. Wait until Audrey sees this. I am truly the king, he's thinking. Gideon built and he built and he built, and then he built some more. He made sure each tower stood straight and each and every wall was level. And as he smoothed the sides of the castle, everyone on the beach started to walk over. Awesome! Whoa! Come and see what this kid has built. Look at this beautiful castle. You are the king of the beach. How did you do that all by yourself? That's what people are telling him. And that crab decided it would live in the castle. It's peeking out of a window. Gideon loved the crowd's chants and cheers, but then he spotted Audrey building a sandcastle with their mom and dad. And suddenly, Gideon was feeling very lonely. Looks like they're having fun, just working away on their castle. He jumped down and walked across the beach. Audrey's castle didn't have straight towers, level walls, or smooth sides, but it did look like fun, and Mom and Dad and her were doing it together. She has it decorated beautifully. Gideon glanced over his shoulder at his castle. Then he looked at Audrey's. Room for one more, he asked. Audrey grabbed the bucket from her big brother. On one condition, she said with a grin. We finish building it. What do you think she's going to say? Together. Most of the time, it's a lot more fun when you're working with someone than when you're just working by yourself. And that's what Audrey and Gideon found out. Gideon's castle was beautiful, but it wasn't as much fun to build as what the one with Audrey was. Today, I brought a beach ball. And this is something that you could do with a beach ball that you might have at your house. This beach ball has all the different sections of my plate. It has the red fruit group and the green vegetable group and the orange grain group and the purple protein group and the blue dairy group. Yours might not have all those colors, but that's okay. I think it would be fun if we played a game with this ball. So if we tossed it back and forth to each other and maybe had a rule beforehand, like wherever your right thumb lands, that's what color you're on. You could write on those different categories if yours didn't have this, and then you could name what your favorite food might be. So if I toss this up and catch it, mine landed on vegetables. And right now, I've been eating lots of cucumbers, so that might be one of my favorite vegetables. I would challenge you to think about doing some fun things with your family this summer, getting in some physical activity, as well as maybe helping us think about eating all different kinds of food. Our treat for today is a frozen one, which would taste really, really yummy after you've been at the beach or outside playing. So we took yogurt and strawberries, and we cut the strawberries up in the vanilla yogurt, and then we put them in popsicle makers or molds. If you didn't have these molds, you can typically get these fairly cheap at a dollar store, or you might even find one at Allegheny Cares or at the thrift shops, yard sales. You might even have one stuck in your cabinet someplace. But if you don't, you could use an ice cube tray and stick a popsicle stick down in there. You can buy those wooden craft sticks in the craft section, so you could use that, or you could even use a plastic spoon, or you could even not freeze it. Just use it as yogurt and strawberries. But this would be a fun popsicle to try on a hot summer day, and a great way to get in a little bit of extra as we look at my plate. An extra dairy serving, since it's yogurt, and some yummy fruit. So you could pick blueberries or strawberries or peaches or whatever fruit that you might enjoy and come up with an icy cold treat to cool you off. We hope you'll come back and join us again next week for Storytime Cooks as we continue to learn about food through books.
We love food colored green, bell peppers and long string beans, pickles, celery, cucumbers too. All these foods are good